What is up, guys, and welcome back to Forest Green Rovers mode. This is episode number 20 now, as we continue on our quest through the leagues and eventually sometime, in like July probably, getting to the Premier League and then recording half a season, running at a time and moving on to FIFA 19, as that'll probably be the niche thing to do. Anyway, we're here. We got the FA Cup game against Newport County in this one, and right away, well, we got underway with a goal. It was that simple, really. We just slashed one in against Newport early on. Figueira scoring another goal, Brayton with the assist. It was simple but effective, and yeah, that was the fact that we scored 4 minutes in, to be fair, just gave me the idea that we're going to plain sail through this game. This is going to be incredibly easy, and for the most part it was. We just couldn't finish off, a lot of challenge, a lot of things like that when the downs got, with that one hitting the post, and then we just couldn't capitalize from it. We just couldn't make more goals come. You see, it's the 80th minute. We're still 1-0 up. A little bit of worry. Maybe the Newport could come back. Reece Brown tries to put that to rest by hitting the bar, and then it goes in off the keeper. So it's 2-0. It's pretty much game over now, thankfully. But yeah, there was that little doubt of worry within us that, oh, we're actually not going to be able to pull this one off. We're not going to be able to, Newport could come back and we could force ourselves into extra time, which was the last thing we wanted, given the fact that Newport are down in League 2. We left them high and dry last season. We weren't on our way, and for them to almost try and defeat us would have been a pretty big loss. But it wasn't. It was 2-0. We went on to the next round. I think that's the third round of the FA Cup done. And we'll play the fourth round actually at the end of this episode, to be fair. It was that quick that it came about. But there we go. We win 2-0 in this one. And we, the cup success is going well. You look at the Checker Trade Trophy as well. That's going well. But we out of the League Cup. We might be out of the League Cup, actually. So it might not be going too well. Don't quote me on that one. I can't really remember. I think we did get knocked out by... I don't remember, actually. But... nevertheless, we're going to move on here. We're going back to the league, and we got a real big game this episode against Barnsley. You saw in the last episode, things weren't going well. We lost 2 games, I think it was. We drew 1, and then I think we won the last 2. So there was not, all the points that we needed to take home, we didn't, and we saw our gap halved in 1 episode. So we needed to try and come back from that, and we did, because in the 4th minute, yet again, Figueira scores another goal. 4th minute specialist, this man is. So, yeah, to score this early on again against Barnsley was incredibly important. They're in the playoff places. They're in 4th right now. I think they were heading into this game. So it was very, very important that we got off to a good start against them, and we did just that. Figueira knocking in the goal right there to give us an early lead. Lovely run by Heinz as well. You can see he's just on his own for a while. Gets past that one defender relatively easily. Brayton kind of parts the seas for him to pass through that gap, and it's 1-0. Move on here. Not even 10 minutes in. Brayton's in 2-0. That is a devastating blow to Barnsley dealt, and Ben Brayton continues on his scoring sensation. There is no stopping Ben Brayton right now from slashing in those goals left, right and centre. I think that might well have been maybe his 13th of the season, maybe even more, but lovely run by Brown and a first time touch there by Brayton to put it home. Look at how simple he puts it home with. Curls past the keeper something beautifully. None of the defenders had a chance of catching him. And the man that is Ben Brayton, the incredible player that he is, continuing on his ways. We move on here to the 20 minutes now. Ben Brayton tries again a goal, and this time the defence and the keeper able to work together and make a save. Move on a little bit later. Chumacero knocks it right off the bar. Could have been a great chance for him to score. Of course, he came back in the last episode after being away for 3 months. Great passing from Figueira, and we've seen him from those angles, smash it in the back of the net, but it was not one of those occasions today, hitting the bar as he has done before as well. Heinz picks up the ball here. Got a bit of work to do with it. No, never mind, he just scores. It is a lovely goal to make it 3-0 and to really set into the fact that this game is relatively over already. It's not even half-time, and we're 3-0 up against someone who is, of course, supposed to be some of our biggest title rivals, which is great considering in the last episode we played Sheffield United, I believe, and we lost to them. So this is, to bounce back like this, to be 3-0 up so early on is incredible. But we want to continue developing that gap, don't we? We want to keep on scoring them goals. So Brayton plays the ball in to the back post where Heinz is waiting. 4-0. Thank you very much. That's a brace for Tobias Heinz, and I think it might be the first brace he scored outside of a sim game. I think he scored one in a sim game before, but Brereton there getting another assist for himself on the day. That may well be his second now, I believe. So he's just having a fun time, all things considered. Reece Brown plays the ball in. Brereton will neck his second. Why not? Lovely stuff there from Ben Brereton. And there was still over half an hour of football left to play, so he could bag his hat-trick if he wanted to, but a simple enough one there. It's a really nice ball in from Brown, all things considered. You'll see it on the replay here. He's running with it. Brereton trying to find a gap for himself, and he does. He gets right into the middle of the box perfectly there. Defender has no idea where he is, and it's 5-0. Move on a little bit later. Sadly, I had to take Brereton off, try and save him for the next few games. So Guiri will play that ball into Sarsenders, who also got subbed on. 6-0. Job done. That was just, game is over, sealed, put it away, put a little bow on it, send it off. Absolute destruction of Barnsley at their home turf. Reece Brown plays the ball in there. Guiri just very quick there to just turn around and pass the ball away, and does a good job there making sure that he loses the player. 6-0 though on the day. That is a destructive victory. That is something to be proud of. That is why we have gone straight up to League One, and we're already vying to get out of League One and to go into the Championship. Well, before, of course, we can even think about getting to the Championship, we've still got a lot more games to get through. Games like this one against MK Dons at home. Decided to sim it, considering we were 2 wins on the trot. It's at home. We have good momentum behind us. We should be able to win this one fairly comfortably as well. MK Dons, they are kind of on the outside of the playoffs. I think heading into this game, they were about 9th or 10th or thereabouts. So, you know, I felt as if I could take the risk in sim in this one and just hope that we could get a win. And lo and behold, it's looking pretty good. Ben Brereton netting the only goal of the game, and it would go on to be the only goal of the game because we would win this one 1-0. Good stuff. 3 points. Can't complain. Moving on to the next sim game now. The area final in the Checker Trade Trophy against Barnsley. Now, between the episodes, I actually went away and found out what this means. Basically, we play 2 leagues against these guys, and we play the guys who win the other area final at the end of the season. So we're the North, whoever the other teams are the South, and then we play in the finals at like the end of the season. I think it's like April time. So basically, this was the first leg. We're away from home, needed to pick up a win, and look at that. Ben Brereton and Reece Brown smashing goals in. 2 for Brereton, 1 for Brown. 3-0 in the away leg. That means whenever the next one is, I guess in the next episode, we technically don't even need to show up for it. We've just won it. We've just thrashed Barnsley now twice. That is 9-0 in the last 2 games against them. Both of them have been at their home ground. I bet they are loving us right about now. Well, we head into the final episode, the final game of this episode, even the 4th round of the FA Cup. Yep, Newcastle United. Our first huge test, really, and one that I actually was so intent. I wanted to play and see how we could cope against the big guy, you know, against the guys in the Premier League. Give us kind of a taster as to what we can expect and what we're going to have to do going forward. And we see there it's very attacking right from the bat, and then Jonathan Bennett goes ahead and gives away a stupid penalty, truth be told, but it was very, very disappointing that happened. Bennett gives away the penalty there, sends whoever it is down to the ground, and then they were dominating us, and the last thing we needed to do was give away a penalty, but we did. Giselu jogs up to the spot and puts it home with ease for 1-0. It was from this moment on, really, that I realised that, it's not looking that good. We're going to have to do a lot if we want to stand a chance. Like, I didn't think we were going to be able to go through, and that just put, like, a much bigger hole in the boat, essentially. So we move on here a little bit later, just 5 minutes later. They're passing it around. Giselu gets the ball again, and a lovely finesse shot into the corner. That makes it 2-0. Just 10 minutes, basically, or whatever it is, even less than that, after they scored the first goal. Brace for Giselu there in this one. And it was basically at this moment where I realised we're not going through. It was a nice run we had in the FA Cup, but once again, when the Premier League teams start getting involved, that's when you see the non-league teams, not the non-league teams, the smaller teams just start to fly away and just start to get cut off from the tournament. We had our chances, though, second half. Reece Brown's in, and that could have been 2-1. That could have been a shot that could have got us right back in the game, but it doesn't even end up threatening Krul either. It just goes way off target. Which was a real big shame. Move on you a little bit later. Flynn Downs picks up the ball, and this time Krul is actually tested, makes the save, and we couldn't capitalise from it. The game ended 2-0, and that was our road in the EFL Cup. That was FA Cup, sorry, brought to a sad end. Newcastle would progress on, and That's not really much of a surprise. They were the better team and they deserved the win. Now, here is where some bullshit can happen. This isn't supposed to happen. Bagayoko says he's leaving, right? But off camera, I signed him to a 2-year deal. Yet apparently he has 6 months left on his contract and he's off to Nottingham Forest at the start of the next season. That is not right. That is bullshit is what that is. Signed the deal before the transfer window even opened and somehow he's off. That one is absolute bullshit. I do not agree with that one at all, but I can't do anything to change it. So the next season, we're looking for new everything now, since Bagayoko, one of our best defenders, is gone, which is a huge, huge blow. But we look at the table there, we're looking pretty comfortable, 7 points in front of our opponents, and moving on from the Bagayoko saga, we've got him for the rest of the season, and hopefully he can be a driving force that'll send us up to the championship. That'll end this episode of Cream Mode. See you tomorrow for the next one. Thank you guys for watching. Take care, guys. And ta-ra.